Superman is now a father, so how does Super Dad handle the struggles of a super son? What's up, everybody? I'm Stan, and welcome to Detail Comics, where we go over comics in detail. Today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to touch on a brand new issue, and that is Superman #1. So, Superman #1, written by Peter J. Tomasi, is a new take on this Superman character. And ultimately what we find is that this is really a continuation of how he feels about Superman from the final days of Superman's story. So as far as the writing is concerned, I'm very happy with where the writing is. I like the structure. It doesn't feel like we're going to be doing anything too terribly convoluted. And the way that the story is really diving into Superman, it's going to feel much more personal. He does some great setup, and overall, some of the character arcs that are going on in here, they're going to be very interesting, since we're going to see the development of Superman as a character, as well as the family that surrounds him, and how these different feelings, these different factors of being super people affect their average everyday life, while teaching his son responsibility. The thing is, his son is just a kid. He doesn't understand the dangers and consequences that come along with having superpowers. That is until the last panel. When my dad came to discipline me, that is how I felt, and immediately I got that sensation when I was looking at this book. The art, on the other hand, by Patrick Gleason, isn't necessarily the strongest point of the book. There are certain situations where it feels a little bit unnatural and it feels a little bit conflicting. It's like a mix between an animated series and a comic book. There are points where I'm totally fine with it, and ultimately there's some very visceral scenes that are illustrated that totally pop off the page, and then in certain areas the contrast and the kind of vagaries that go into the art really provide impact. While the art style is a bit distracting, it's not enough for me to not recommend the book, simply because I understand that this might be a little bit distracting for some people, but I like the way the story is. I like where the story is going, and ultimately I feel like this is going to tie into more books along the way. Obviously, you have the Super Sons title, the Justice League title, and these are going to impact all of those things. So it's definitely something I recommend people picking up. It's just that this might not be the art style for everyone. However, it might not be the art style for the rest of the books. So this is one of the things where you're going to have to wait and see and kind of follow along as the book finds its voice. Ultimately, I think it's something that you should pick up. Even if you're not the biggest Superman fan, it's always great to find a jumping on point and figure out whether it's something for you or not. So those are my thoughts on Superman #1, but I want to hear what your thoughts are. So hit me up in the comments down below and we can start that discussion and talk about everything. As always, if you like what you see, hit the like button down below, and don't forget to subscribe for more news and reviews regarding comic books, comic book movies, comic book TV shows and games, and anything and everything inside the world of comics.